It was up to everybody out there. Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk, and I'm your host, C Money. And in today's episode, I want to talk about something, that's related to COVID, but it's not near the COVID. I want to talk about the declining of movie theaters and the rising of streaming apps. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. And this is just a topic that I think that I just want to rely on to see what people think about it and what people have going with it. As always, you can email us roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page if you like a topic that you want us to discuss with us. You can also leave it on the comments of this page. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and make sure to check out our videos, our previous videos, and videos up to date. And here we go. Let's start the show. Since 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of places shut down. In March of 2020, when everything started shutting down and the government started having restrictions, and the CDC started having restrictions, would also shut down the movie theaters, which a lot of people was frequently in the past, go to movies and you watch a movie and everything like that. And a lot of movie productions had been put on hold, since the pandemic. A lot of production was on put on hold. Some movies that was already in production, some safety protocols had to be in place for them to continue streaming to the stuff, and a lot of things had to be rearranged. And one thing that did occur and one thing that did change is watching the way you watch movies. Back in the day, you go and pay $8, $9, $10, or how the price was to go see a movie in the movie theater, and it was an experience. You got to the movie theater, you walked up to the movie ticket window, and I purchased a ticket for this movie and that movie. Then when you get in, they have a couple of video games where you can play a couple of video games before you watch the movie. And then you go to the concession stand and order your popcorn and drink, and then you use the restroom before the movie starts, and you go in and stuff. Now a lot of things have changed, like not just with COVID. Now you have it where they don't have too many ticket windows. The ticket window still exists, but now they have it where you either ordering your ticket online, or you ordering your ticket through a kiosk, or you have to go to customer service to order your ticket, because I've seen it at certain. And then it was one movie theater where you had to order your tickets at the concession stand, and I'm like, what? And it was a movie theater that used to be in Miami down here, but it quickly, the movie theater is another movie theater that owns that theater now. But yeah, and now these days, and then now you have more menu options. You don't just have your regular popcorn and soda and candy. Now you have chicken tenders and pizza, and now you have modern day movie theaters where they have the dine-in movie theaters where you can order fancy food like pasta and chicken wings and a whole bunch of stuff right from your seat, and the waiter comes and brings you your food and stuff like that, and you pay from your seat. You have modern day things. I had I first experienced it when I took an ex-girlfriend of mine out, and we went to an actual dine-in movie theater, and it was something I loved. And I took some family members, and it was like they loved it too, and I was like, yeah, but this is my spot. The declining of drive-ins, apparently, because there's only one drive-in here in South Florida. Like, drive-ins been declining from for years. But since the pandemic, a lot of movies have resulted to streaming their movies on online apps, and to streaming it online to different apps. You have now you have the Paramount Plus, you have Disney Plus, now you have Peacock, and what's the Amazon TV and all that. You have a lot of streaming apps Amazon Prime and all that. So now a lot of movies, HBO Max, you have a lot of these streaming apps where now it's taking the fun away from the movie theaters. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. One of the greatest movies that I've ever seen, Coming to America, made a movie called Coming to America Part Two, and even when they was beginning to open I think around the time Coming to America came out, the movie theaters wasn't open yet. They were just slowly, gradually trying to get everything back up. But even when they opened up the movie theaters, a lot of these things like, oh, you can view it on HBO Max or you can view it on Amazon Prime and stuff. At the time when Coming to America came out, I didn't really have Amazon Prime, but I was a member of Amazon, and then eventually I became a member of Amazon Prime, and I watched it, and I was like, this would have been a nice movie to see in the movie theater, because you can go to the movie and get the movie theater experience. But a lot, just not just for Coming to America too, but a lot of movies had resulted in streaming their movies online, and it was like, it's nice to watch a movie at home, but that's a movie that you've seen like 20 years ago. Like if you want to go see a movie that came out in 1995 or something, and it's coming and it's on, a streaming app, you can watch it at home or whatever. But if it's a movie that's just coming out in 2021 or 2022, and they say, oh, you can watch it here, I'd rather go to the movie theaters and watch it, because it's more of a movie experience to watching it. Like you home all the time. In a movie theater, because I recently went to go see a movie with a coworker and some friends, and yeah, I went to the movie theater. It's a movie experience because you get the oohs and the ahs of the other movie guests that's in the movie theater. You get the laugh with the other movie theaters if something funny. You get that experience, and then you get to order different varieties of food, and it's like you're getting an experience won't that you don't get as much as you do at home. You're around among other people. I've seen now where I normally order my tickets through a kiosk. They have kiosks where you can like order your tickets already. And then when we did go to the movie theater, they had the people order their movies at the customer service desk. And I'm like, you got to buy your ticket. You either went to the kiosk or you went to the customer service desk. But the ticket windows, they was only there to show you the times of when the movies starts, but you had to go to either the kiosk, which was next to the movie window, the movie ticket windows, or you had to go inside to the customer service desk to order your tickets. And I think that's one of the reasons why that is, because a lot of people are not going to the movie theaters because of coronavirus, COVID-19, and it's because they're short staffed. Meaning, number one, it's because a lot of people is not going to the movie theater, so there's no need to put people at the ticket window. Number two, they're short staffed, so they need, to have some of their, because a lot of people are still out of work due to COVID, and some people are still not going back to work. And then there's other people that found other jobs and don't want to go back to the same job they was at. So they have to move people around into different locations to fill spots. And then because number three, money. A lot of people don't have money to go to the movie theaters like that and stuff. Just like when I told you when I went to Universal Studios. Yeah, it was a nice crowd, but a lot of people at one point, when they opened up Universal Studios, I wasn't going to run the Universal Studios because number one, even though the that's just like when the hotels and the airlines was cheap. They wasn't making any money because people was out of work and people wasn't traveling, and people had to save the little money that they had to pay their bills. So they offering $19 flights, $50 rooms, $20, $30 rooms, and they was offering cheap deals because they wanted people to get back into traveling and to make money off of these people. And any dollar count, whatever, if it was $1 flight from here to New York, they made some money off of you. So that's what it was. And when the movie theaters just finally started opening back up, AMC decided to offer people to come to the movies for 15 cents. And I'm like, that's like 1970s and 1960 prices for a movie. You never got them prices, So they tried to offer deals like, come back for 15 cents. You can go to a movie for 15 cents and stuff like that. And it kind of worked at one point. Well, it didn't and did. It did and didn't because you rarely saw people going in because remember at that time we were still in a pandemic and we still are in a pandemic. So it's a lot of people that are still skeptical about doing certain things, and I'm the same way. Like I go to a movie theater, and now movie theaters are different, and not just because of the coronavirus. Now they have assigned seatings. Remember back in the day when you had to go to the movie theater, you just sat anywhere in the movie theater and it didn't matter. You just sit with your peoples and stuff. Now it's assigned seating. Now if you have like 5 people in your group and you want to go see a movie, you have to make sure in that assigned seating there are 5 seats available because you may have 2 people sitting here, then 2 people sitting here, and then there's like two or three seats in the middle, but you can't sit 2 and 3 seats in the middle if you have 5 people. So now you have to find a section that has 5 people all together, and then it'd be funny because half the times, half them people don't even much come to the movie. That's just like buying a ticket to a basketball game and don't show up to a basketball game, and but but the seats are empty because the person never showed up, or like having season tickets to a basketball game. Because I would never say buy basketball tickets and don't show up. Maybe you have season tickets and then you don't end up going to the game, and then your seats just vacant, and that's one thing. So that's why I say it's a lot of factors with that when thing, and with the online streaming of movies, I'm like, I really don't care to watch a movie online unless it's like a movie that I've seen from back in the day. I do pay for maybe 1 or 2 streaming apps, but I'm not like I don't pay for I'm not saying what I do or don't have. Well, okay, I put it to you this way: I don't have the major streaming apps. I'm not Hulu or Netflix and all that. I don't do the Netflix and chill and all that mess. But it's just the fact that a lot of these streaming apps that's resulting into moving the movies from the big screen to the small screen, which is the streaming apps. And I feel that you're taking the movie experience away from the movies. A lot of movie theaters was hurting during the pandemic because they wasn't making money. Number one, a lot of the movies that was premiering during the pandemic had to go to streaming apps, and a lot of these movie theaters don't have streaming apps to provide their movies on, so they have to go to HBO Max, Paramount Plus, Hulu, or wherever these apps that you know provided these movies with. Like Coming to America was on Amazon Prime, and that was the only way you could see it. And I'm like, yeah. And when I first knew about Amazon Prime, I said, oh yeah, let me get Coming to America. And it's like, it's not an experience that I want to experience, because when you're in the movie theater and you see a scene and it's a laughing scene, it's a funny scene, you got other people around you that laughs, Yeah, it's more quieter at your house, but it's like an experience. You can't go up to and say, oh, let me go to the concession stand and get popcorn, or I may want some Goobers, or I may want some Twizzlers or some candy, or I may want me a drink, because now they serve beer and liquor inside in majority of these movie theaters. So it's like an experience that you're getting. You're getting a movie experience, and a lot of these streaming apps are taken away from that. Because remember back in the day, what used to be the popular thing back in the day to watch a movie? Bootleg. The bootleg man. They used to call you the bootlegger man, or the bootleg man, or the bootlegger, or whatever. But we call it the bootleg man. And you'll buy your DVD for $5. You'll go home. It's not the best quality, because some of them, they had good quality movies on bootleg that it looks like it's a real DVD. And then you have the non-quality ones where you can see the people walking through walking through the movie theater while they're recording and stuff. So that was the thing back in the day. But now bootlegging is a thing of the past. A lot of people, you don't see too many people on the street bootlegging or selling bootleg DVDs and CDs, because that was the thing. CDs is not, and that's another show we're going to get into. But we'll talk about the declining of CDs and all that in another show. But basically, it's like you're taking the experience away from the movie theaters, because you go in the movie theater, you get a drink, you buy you some popcorn and a soda, you sit there, and then not only that, when a movie say for instance, a movie says it's supposed to start at 8 o'clock. the movie not gonna start till 8:30, and you know why it don't start till 8:30, and this is not a no brainer. Cause once the clock hit 8 o'clock, what comes on before the movie theaters? You got the promos from the movie theater that they talk about. Maybe they got a loyalty rewards program. Maybe they talk about, they give you the do's and don'ts of what you don't do in the movie theater, and then they give, stop by the concession stand and do all this. They have all these promos for the movie theater, and then you got, sometimes they do it before or sometimes they do it after, but they also have the previews of movies that's coming out, and normally it be like 5 or 6, maybe more than that, previews of movies. Sometimes they have a little promo of the saying movie theater before the previews. Sometimes they have it after the previews, but you have at least close to 10 previews. You have like 5 or 6, but I'll say no more than 10 previews. So it takes 30 minutes before the movie to start. So actually, when a movie says it starts at 8 o'clock, it's technically gonna start at 8:30. So you're not gonna be late because that's when the previews start. Now, what I think is they should say the previews is gonna start at 8 o'clock, but the actual movie will start at 8:30. But if you want to get there to see the previews, get there at 8 o'clock. But they tell you, the movie starts at 8 o'clock. But in reality, it's the promos that starts at 8 o'clock. I mean, the previews that starts at 8 o'clock, and the movie don't start till like 8:15, 8:20, 8:30, depending on how many previews they got. So it's the experience that you're getting with the movie theaters, and by you doing it, yeah, you get previews when you're at home, and you're watching it on the DVD or Blu-ray, or you're watching it on online on the streaming app. But it's not the same as you was in the movie theater. You don't get the laughter of the people sitting next to you, or the people sitting a couple of rows down from you, the people sitting a couple of rows up from you, depending on where you're sitting at. You don't get, saying, excuse me, when the people gotta walk through you to get to your seat. You don't get the ohs and the ahs and the, you don't get the real experience of a movie theater. I know a lot of people that likes the streaming apps because they feel it's more safe and convenient. And I know within this day and time with COVID-19 and the pandemic and all of these variants that are coming out, I know it's more safer to watch your movies at home through a streaming app than to go out into the public and catch COVID. But you do realize a lot of these businesses are taking safety protocols, and one thing you do is have your own safety protocol. I'm quite sure between movie theaters they disinfect all of the seats and everything, which they're supposed to be doing. But you have your own sanitizer spray, you have your own sanitizer. You have your own disinfectant wipe, have your own hand sanitizer, have your wipes, have all that with you. When I leave my house, I have all of that with me. In my pocket right now, I have, what is this called, a Lysol to go. It's a mini disinfectant spray that fits in your pocket, and wherever I go and I feel unsafe, I spray it. And I also have another type of disinfectant spray. But this is what you use for common things when you go out to the stuff. And at the movie theaters, I'm sure you're not going to spray your seat down because that's what wipes are for. But it's just the fact that you go to these places because you want the experience of what it gives you, and you want the experience of how it feels to be in a movie theater. And I know for about a half a year, maybe a year, depending on what time when your movie theaters in your area opened up, I know it was a bad experience because people was like, I want to go see the movie, I want to go see this, I want to go see that. Now a lot of the movie theaters are now playing movies, but you still have the option to view them on streaming apps. So you have the option of going to the movie or watching at home on a streaming app. And for me, I'd rather go to a movie theater because there's nothing like a movie theater. Like movie theaters, you're not gonna change. You can't get rid of movie theaters. That's one of the big places that's not going to go away. You may take away the drive-through movie theaters, or you may take away, like I did in the previous show, I say they had the $1.99 movie theaters. You may take them away, but you can't take away the movie theater because movies will be here until forever. And you are, you can't say, okay, no more movie theaters, so everything's going to be moved online. And you have to realize one thing: not everybody, like myself. I told you at one point I didn't have streaming apps and stuff, and a lot of these movie theaters are on streaming apps, and a lot of these elderly people, people in their 60s and 70s and 80s that are not hip to technology, they don't know nothing about streaming apps. My TV has I have a smart TV, which means I have certain apps, on my TV, and I can connect my Wi-Fi to my TV, and I can connect my phone to my TV. Like if I'm watching something on YouTube, and I want to see it on my TV instead of seeing it on my small phone, I can connect my phone to my TV, and I can watch it from my TV right from my phone. And, a lot of these people don't have that technology, so they rather go to a movie theater and see a movie rather than trying to figure out, okay, I like the movie, but I can't see it in the movie theater because it's online. And then they'll have to go to either somebody else's house that they know, or they have to try to find a way to say, just like when I did Coming to America. When Coming to America 2 came out, I didn't have the streaming app that it was streaming on for me to watch it. I didn't watch it till later down the line when I did get the streaming app, or I did have access to it. And I'm like, okay, not everybody done seen it. I'm the last to see it. And I'm quite sure there's some people that still haven't seen the movie because they don't have streaming apps to watch it. But they want to watch it. So the only best thing for them to do is either go to somebody else's place that has a streaming app, or they just, wait till maybe one day it's going to come on YouTube, because, you can watch movies on YouTube, or it's a place where you can probably order it and you can have like on a DVD or something like that. But, it's just the fact that it's the experience that you get out of the movie theaters. What do y'all think about this? Do y'all think that modern day movies and the way that they're doing movies, shifting it to online streaming apps and everything, do you think that's a good idea, or do you think that's a bad idea? To me, I think it's good and bad. Now, I know, like I said, during the pandemic, it was a good way for people to still see movies and to get people out there to watch movies, and the movie companies and the production companies and the actors in these movies and the producers and everybody who works on these movies can still make money. But, now that the movies are back up, you should have that option of, let's watch the movie. Because remember, back in the day, you had to wait till a movie come out. And then when the movie came out, it was only in the movie for about a month. And then when they say, oh, it's coming to DVD. So when it comes to DVD, that's the option for you to look at it at home. Now you don't even have to have a DVD player to watch your movie, because they're going to say, oh, you can watch it anytime on HBO Max, or you can watch it anytime on Paramount Plus, or you can watch it on anytime on the movie streaming app, and you don't need to have a DVD. And 9 times out of 10, DVD, you don't have that movie saved for you to watch. It's just on an app where you can watch it constantly on that app. But instead of having a DVD, you can have it in your collection. You can watch it whenever. You don't have to cut on you don't have to open up a streaming app to watch it and stuff like that. So that's what I think, that in a way it's okay, but I feel the movies should be sent to a streaming app after it's been into movie theaters. Remember when I did a show a couple of days ago when I was at Westland Mall, and I was talking about the 99 cents movie theaters, where right before it goes to DVD and VHS, it will go to the 99-cent movie, which is the last movie theater you go to before it goes right to VHS or DVD. And people go there to see it one more time, and it's only 99 cents, because those are the movies that's been in the movie theaters already. They just hear it to right before it go to DVD and video. And I believe that's what it should be for streaming apps. I should feel right before, like, put it in the movie theater. Then after it's been in the movie theater, you have the option to buy it on DVD, or you can stream it online on your favorite streaming apps. And I believe that's what it should be. But once again, you have where basically everything is now online. Even with the TV shows, there's a lot of new TV shows that are coming out. And there's a lot of reboot shows, shows that have been rebooted, from back in the day. You have shows from the 70s and 80s and 90s that's been rebooted into a new show. And a lot of them shows are being rebooted and shown on streaming apps. And I'm like, it used to be back in the day that you used to find a show and they reboot the show and then it comes on cable. Now, when you reboot the show, it comes on a streaming app. So it's even worse because not only are you taking it away from people who don't have cable, you're also taking it away from people who don't have streaming apps. And that's, a lot of people like my mom still owns a flip phone. My mama doesn't know technology. My mom's in her 80s, and I'm blessed to have her and still here today. But she doesn't know technology. She doesn't know nothing about smartphones and computers and streaming apps and all that. So when she wants to watch something, and it's available online, I have to do for her and show her and things like that. So what it is that a lot of these people are not hip to technology, but you're making it where you can only watch certain things on streaming apps, and you're not giving options for a lot of people. Just like with the movie, some people would rather go to a movie theater and watch a movie in a movie theater instead of going to a streaming app. And I mean, you got to look at it as if what you know how is this affecting us. And to me, it's affecting the economy bad, because not only are you putting a hurt on movie businesses, because a lot of movies now, a lot of people are not going to be going to the movies now, because you can stream at home then go to a movie theater. It may be safe now because of COVID, but you have to realize one thing: it's not profitable for the movie theaters. Now, I will see if the movie theater had an online app where you can watch the movies and then you pay a cheaper price, like you'll pay like $5 or $6, because now movies are almost like $15 or more for a movie. It's up to like $15 or more to go see a movie, and that's because you're getting a movie theater experience. Because it ain't like regular movie theaters where you just have a regular seat, you sit down and watch the movie. Now you have movie seats that reclines back, and they have, you can order food, or they have like buttons, certain things. You have modern day movie theaters. So you're paying at least 15 or more for a movie, and to get the movie experience, because back in the day it was on like $8, $9, $10, and then the matinee was like $6 or $7. That was any movie before 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, whatever it was. So you're getting the experience. But now it comes to the point where now you got to look at it from a point of view of, let's get back to the movies. Let's get back to movie theaters. Let's get back into watching movies and going to these movie theaters, because now you're taking the experience away from the movies by streaming all your movies online. And now I've seen a lot of movies where they say, oh, you can go to the movie now playing in movie theaters or streaming it online. And I'm like, yeah, you're giving a person an option where either go to the movie theater or stay home and watch it online. And 9 times out of 10, most people be like, I'm watching online because I'm already paying $5.99 for a membership on this streaming app, rather going to pay $15 to go watch it in the movie. I'd rather pay the $5.99 a month that I'm already doing, and I can watch this for free. So it's like you're doing more on the streaming app than you is here, because I'm like, okay, I pay $5.99 a month for this streaming app, but if I go to the movie, I got to pay one time fee of $15. And then I got to pay for food and everything and all that. So I'd rather stay home, eat the food that I got in the house that I've already bought for free, and watch this movie for free on the streaming app that I already paid for a flat rate a month, and I'm saving money. So you're giving the people the option to not want to go to the movie theaters. What do y'all think about this? Do you think this is a good idea to move movies to online streaming apps, or do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think that we should continue to do it, or you do think that we should be able to end this process? Because online streaming movies didn't exist to the COVID. It existed, but it only existed for like if you want to see a movie from the 1990s, or if you want to see a movie from the 80s, or if you want to see like a TV show from back in the day, you can stream it online. It wasn't like modern day movies, like if a movie come out the mall, you didn't have the option to stream it online and watch it, or go to a movie theater. You just had the option to go into the movie theaters. But since the pandemic, it's like now you have those options. And do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea? I already told you it's a bad idea. I don't think that it's an idea that people should watch, this stuff and do this stuff, because I feel like if at the end of the day you're taking away the movie experience. I want to know how you feel about this. I want to know what's your comments and intake on this. Email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page. You can also don't forget to click the subscribe button as well. I try to limit my shows to 30 minutes. Sometimes it goes over 30 minutes, and because we do have things to discuss. I thank y'all for watching this episode. Let me know what y'all think about this episode, and don't forget you can check out our previous shows, and you can also comment on our previous shows, and hopefully y'all staying safe out there. Please go and support these movie theaters, regardless of what movie theater is in your neighborhood, in your city, or in your state. Please go support local businesses and local movie theaters, because without us supporting them, there will be nothing to watch. There will be no money flowing. Get the economy back up and running. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you on the next show. Have a good day.